Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, and I am here with my brother for the fourth match of this modern competitive league. We're 2-1 so far. We're going to thank the manabase.com for being our sponsor. If you love Pauper, then go check out Pauper Ponderings by Austin Hoey at the manabase.com. Great content. Pauper Ponderings taking the Pauper world by storm. So we won the die roll, and we are up against... I recognize this name, Whoopi123. This guy is a Merfolk aficionado. I don't know if you're still playing Merfolk or not. But he definitely has played Merfolk in the past. This hand sucks. We're going to keep it anyway because we're on the play. This hand's particularly atrocious if this guy's playing Merfolk. I'm pretty sure this guy used to play Merfolk quite a bit. So I'm going to show him what we're doing. Like this says we're a Merfolk player right off the bat. Arid Mesa.
This fish crawled out of the water. He's evolved.
Alright, that was a very good draw. Gives us a lot more room to breathe. But Arid Mesa has got to mean like burn or a control deck. Jeskai control. Prefer to play against Grixis control.
What was the gimmick behind Jeskai Ascendancy?
Oh, whenever you play a non-creature spell, you can like untap all creatures you control and they get a +1/+1 counter. And you could just keep using draw spells to untap your mana dorks and then retap them for mana to play more draw spells. And then like every single time you play a spell, you untap these creatures, but they get +1/+1. And then they keep getting bigger every single spell you play until they get to like 20 damage and then they kill you.
Jeez.
It was a stupid deck. It should be banned, but fortunately it's, I don't know, it's not good enough. Stomping Ground, I love the look of that. It means, I think it means burn. It actually could mean Red-Green Valakut. I don't know if Red-Green Valakut would want to play Arid Mesa though. That seems a bit dicey. So I'm leaning a lot more towards burn here.
Got the C's.
I got the C's, if you see what I mean.
He'll
Do
be here
you
all week.
seize? Do you seize what I mean? This feels like burn. What the hell is this? You got me. I'm reading this stuff. When he enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, add green to your mana pool. So this is like Burning Tree Emissary is what you're trying to tell me. You're trying to tell me this is Burning Tree Emissary 5 to 8. I didn't even notice that they made another Burning Tree Emissary. And there's the original Burning Tree Emissary that I was talking about in the first place. So this is going to be a very ugly zoo deck. And there's Bushwhacker. Saw that a mile away. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to block things. It's just what we're going to do. I guess there's no big difference between either this one or this one. So we will block this one. I don't know.
So we're gonna get whacked.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get whacked. This guy's going to whack me. And I don't know if it's so valuable to play the Spreading Seas. I think I'm just going to wait on it. I'm just going to play creatures that can block. Blocking feels like a pretty good thing at this junction. But Spreading Seas into Master Waves is quite good because it can block this thing. I should have considered that. This guy can get trumped by Master Wave, so actually blocking this guy was a lot better. I don't think in these creature-based decks, usually Spell Pierce is not very good, and the reason for that is that they're not playing many spells that you can Spell Pierce. Basically, Lightning Bolt, and I think that's it. So if this is 8 whack, I guess it improved with this stupid thing. If I seize one of these things, he can still play a. He can still go off with stuff like this if he's got another land in his hand. But I think they're somewhat land tight. I think I'll just play the Silvergill Adapt. We'll show the Lord of Atlantis. We're just going to take it from there. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Aether Vial. Because I don't think the Spell Pierce is going to be that valuable. All we're trying to hit is, I believe, Lightning Bolt. That's about it. They depend on things like Gore Clan Rampager as spells, as pseudo spells. Maybe post-board they might have a little bit more to work with. But with Spreading Seas, I think the Aether Vial is going to be useful with our Master of Waves. I might actually just straight up play this Master of Waves for nothing. Just for 1 token. Seems reasonable. Ooh, might see a little bit of Grixis stuff happening here. So I'm going to block. If he's got Gorkline Rampager, you want to make them use it like sooner than later. It could be a very big mistake waiting longer and longer because the Rampager is only going to get stronger as time goes on. And also, I make him suck up more or less his entire turn by playing the Gorkline Rampager immediately. Who's going to play a Tarkus Command? That I wasn't playing around. That's ugly. Okay, so that was worth playing Spell Pierce, holding up Spell Pierce for. That was well worth holding up Spell Pierce for. Still has a lot of cards left in his hand, which is very unnerving. I sort of want to go for a big Master of Waves in a few turns. I can play Lord of Atlantis right now. No, I don't want to play Lord of Atlantis. I want to vial it in with Aether Vial. I'm going to prepare a big Master of Waves. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to play the Spreading Seas on this. We're going to hold Vapor Snag for like one of these creatures if it gets out of line. Probably this thing. We draw a land. It's not bad, because if we save this Vapor Snag on our turn, it would. I wouldn't mind playing it to protect a Master of Waves somehow. He keeps drawing land, which is not convenient, because that shuts Spell Pierce off. I think I'm just going to take it. We're in pretty bad shape because he could just like a Tarkus Command and then bolt us. What is this? Some sort of landfall trigger? Death Touch. When he enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on it if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. Alright. It's pretty underwhelming. I will do nothing with my mana. Okay, so let's make a big Master of Waves. Pass turn.
I've seen bigger.
And we can Vapor Snag a creature that has been Gorkline Rampaged on us. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Soak up the tokens.
I could. Well, I have to block anyway, so I can double block here. I could just double block both of them. It would leave us pretty vulnerable, though. Pretty vulnerable. There's no good way of blocking this thing, unfortunately. Or I could double block and then bounce this thing to his hand. He can't cast it this turn. But then I'll die to a bolt. Because I got to figure out like some way of winning the game. So we're definitely double blocking this guy. And then I could Vapor Snag this guy. No, no, you can't Gore Clan Rampage this turn. Whatever. We're just gonna double block this guy. It's just what we're gonna do. This game probably could have been very different if I didn't play that Aether Vial. And I held up that Spell Pierce for that Atarka's Command. Because then our creature would have traded with that hidden Herbalist or whatever. And we wouldn't have to deal with so much of this nonsense at this point. It's not bad. It's not good, though. I think I will... If I attack with Lord of Atlantis... Well, here's the thing. I could actually Vapor Snag this Master Waves back. Because being at 2 and 1 doesn't matter. It doesn't change much.
And you get your tokens back.
I do. Huh.
That's a line of play.
It is. And I still die to Bolt no matter what. But I don't exactly die to Atarka's Command. Okay, hold on. If I Vapor Snag this thing, replay it with the Curse Catcher... What does that do? I would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I threaten lethal, actually. I do threaten lethal. Vapor Snag, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Do it.
And the Master Waves and Curse Catcher represents lethal. Yeah, I better just do this. This is not convenient. Alright, hopefully you have just lands and a bunch of other useless crap. No, he's just quickly adding mana. I'm dead.
Huh.
He had like a million Atarka's commands. Yeah, okay, concede. Next game. Next game. Okay, so I was wrong. I forgot about Atarka's command. I don't usually play against 8 whack whatsoever. We'll want the Harbinger of the Tides. I think that's it. Oh, no, hold on. What does Gutshot do? Gutshot? I forgot. I do bring in Gutshot in this matchup. It can kill both Bushwhackers. It can kill an Experiment 1-on-1. It can kill... it probably can kill that Renowned creature. I don't remember how big he is, so we'll probably find a way to bring him in. Take out Vapor Snag, probably for at least 2 Gutshots. Take out Master of Waves, because it's actually pretty expensive. No, do you know what? I'm going to treat this slightly like a burn matchup. I'll take out Vendilion Clique. Bring in another Gutshot. Spreading Seas might be okay.
Spreading.
Okay, this is enough. Don't think I want Relic. Can't remember. I think Relic interacts with them somehow, but I don't remember how. We'll just keep it like this. Clique, not particularly useful. I think all their cards are pretty redundant. Yeah, I would like to go first. I'll keep this hand. This hand's fine. Could be a little bit faster, but whatever.
Speed is
It could have an island. That would help. We'll catch up with the Aether Vial. We'll have a good, like, aggro start, but it would be really nice. Turn 1, Spreading Seas, that would help a lot. Cut off the stupid Burning Tree Emissary. Well, in the cattle, that's another thing you can Gutshot.
Gotta tame that in the cattle.
So we're going to get punished for having this Cavern of Souls. I think I'm just going to show him the Curse Catcher. I'm going to play it immediately.
Stop playing things.
Fortunately, I think that is just it's just what he's going to do. So it's really important to get that Spreading Seas on turn 2, not on turn 3, because he can just play land drops and get his game going from here. Like, even if I Spreading Seas the Sacred Foundry, he'll just play another land. It's not a big deal. So he's going to get some more mana, but I guess he has nothing with haste. Revolt, another Revolt. Pretty good turn. Not bad. Not bad, I would say. His Death Touch. Ugh. Because there's nothing I can do. I got to pass the turn. Not looking good. Ugh, now it's looking very bad because he can play around everything. This might not be bad because we might be able to trade with his board. I have 4 creatures that can trade with 4 creatures of his.
Ew.
Okay, Goblin Guide, show me something. Master of Waves. Might not end up being too bad. Okay, so we will activate this. Put Lord of Atlantis in play. We are going to block as many things as possible. He has only 1 card left in his hand, so if we can just survive this attack, this should be good enough to bring in the bacon for victory. Probably going to want to kill the... Well, definitely got to kill the Nikachu. Sort of want to keep the Goblin Guide around, so we'll block Nikachu. 1 Death Touch guy. Actually, I want to save the damage, so we'll do it that way. We'll just take 5. We're going to be at a healthy life total. We're going to be at a healthy life total, I would say. Okay, we know Master Waves is coming up, so we'll activate this thing right now. Put Lord of Atlantis in play, because we know that the Master Waves is coming up, and we'll tick this thing up, and we'll pass the turn. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to... what's it called? Play an island, Lord of Atlantis. Oh my god, it's Pt.4. This is going to be for 7. I think I'm just going to take the 7. I really want as much devotion as possible with this Lord of Atlantis. So island here would be ideal. That is not ideal whatsoever. Alright, let's start attacking back. Our hand has just been a little awkward this game, just a little awkward, and he's had, like, everything. Yeah, okay, so we die. Our hand was just a little too awkward. Cavernous Souls actually screwed us this game. If anyone doesn't believe me when I say Cavernous Souls is clunky, here is a pure example. If this was blue mana, none of this would have happened. We would just turn 1, like, Spreading Seas that force, and it would have been over. But I believe in Cavernous Souls right now because I see quite a few control decks, like so many control decks that I'm willing to play with this card. But as you see, you can see how clunky it can be. And it shut our Spell Pierce off as well. And we're just dead. So we got 2-0'd by 8 whack. I don't think this is a particularly impossible matchup. Like, as you saw, we had like a lot of game. Even when we couldn't even like get stuff on the board. Like, we couldn't like play Spreading Seas or whatever. But this... It could be better. Our hand was a smidge... I don't know. If we had the blue mana, I think we would have been fine. We would have won this match on the play. But I'm just saying, like, this deck is still dangerous. it could go either way. They have a lot of really powerful fast starts, like he had in this game and the last game. And I think if they curve out the 3 mana, it's well, like 2 to 3 mana is more or less dangerous anyway. So that's that. Unfortunately, not doing the most amazing in this league. But I'm playing against a whole bunch of decks I like never see.
We're still going for a chest.
We're still going for a chest. That's right. So we're going to thank our sponsor, themanabase.com, for being our sponsor. Thank you very much for making me a part of your daily routine. And thanks once again to all my patrons. Thank you so much for being patrons, for supporting me on Patreon. This has been Nikachu and his brother playing Merfolk in Modern.